You know, I don't make it easy on myself when I go to upload these TikTok lives to YouTube. The fact that I pretty much wear the same outfit every day and I sit in the same place, it's kind of funny because it's like I feel like I should be putting up a sign that says Tuesday, November 19th, 7 a.m. So when I download the email, the um, videos, that I actually get them organized. I've been doing a pretty good job, but every time I look, I'm like, oh, there's me. There's me. Oh, hey, Erin. Erin, I've got my mug. I'm raising my mug to you. And Laura Gibbon Voorhees, you are on a roll, my dear. I loved hearing about your free craft table. What a cool idea. What a cool thing, huh? So, good morning. Good morning. I am looking at a big spreading sunshine, scrap lover. Nice to see everybody. It is early for some of us, and maybe if you're in a different time zone, I'm in a time zone, I'm in a time zone. If you're not in the Eastern time zone, it may be even earlier. You know, it may be even earlier. So, good morning. My name is Beth, and Destination Decluttered is my coaching. I help people with their clutter, and not just clutter in your house. Yes, clutter in your house, totally. Totally, that's where we start and we spend most of our time. But I also want you to think of the clutter that's in your head and also the clutter that's in your schedule. Because all of it is kind of all a melange as it were. It is all a melange of how it makes you feel. Now, the clutter that you can see through your eyes definitely affects your brain and your nervous system. The clutter in your head, you may not be able to see it, but it can make you feel like, oh, I got this to do and that and this and that and this and that and this and that because you're looking up here and it's all swirling around. But also your schedule, like what does your schedule look like? And our bodies, yeah, sure, clutter in our bodies. I'm sure I know I have stuff in there that I don't want, and I may have to hop to the small room before my next coaching session. But hey, yeah, so it's kind of a combo, but they all interrelate. And the neat thing is at least the way I like to coach about it or think about it or literally just show up for myself, um, we can work on all of them using the same methods, process. I never know what word to use, like when I'm doing it. I don't know which one's going to be most relatable. Hey yo, hey yo, it's Kat Roby. She's got her Beth blinders on. That's what she calls it. When I show up to do a TikTok live, Kat shows up to declutter for herself. Maybe you want to take an inspo from a fellow cluttered person. And so Kat has scheduled. Notice, I schedule my TikTok lives. Use my schedule. Barnacle onto it. You know what I mean? Habit stack that onto it. Schedule Beth Blinders to manage some piles of paper and more laundry and closet cleaning. Okay? So notice what Kat does and maybe you experiment with that. First of all, because I scheduled something, she scheduled something at the same time. Now she knows that when I show up to do a TikTok live, it's pretty chatty, it's kind of fun, it's encouraging, it's motivating, and it's already scheduled, so why not just put it on your calendar too? Now, the other thing I see that she's done is that she has been somewhat specific about what she's going to focus on. She didn't say, here I'm showing up, and then start looking around, oh, what am I going to do? You can totally do that because I'm sure you can look around. Even me, Beth, Destination Decluttered, I have some clutter that I could tidy up on a surface right here. So saying to yourself, I'm going to show up at between 7 and 8 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday, November 19th, and I'm going to work on the following. Notice that those specifics, and maybe you put it on your calendar, and maybe you set an alarm. Maybe you set 2 alarms. All those little things add up to showing up and then starting to do the decluttering. Okay? Now, I love this. Laura Gibbon Voorhees does the same thing. She says that when I show up doing a TikTok live, she schedules her decluttering, so she has showed up. Yay. And she says, I am sorting an old jewelry box, sentimental stuff until my sort brain fatigues. And then I will switch and watch dishes. There we go. Yes, Mama Pepper, good morning. I am an early bird. On Tuesdays, I have clients that start early. So between those sessions, I figured this is a really good time for me to do my TikTok live, because then after my other one, I can go walk over to do it. Now, Darby Mayer is saying, where do I begin? I don't even know where to begin. I do. Is stop telling yourself you don't know where to begin. Because, first of all, that's not helpful. Just not helpful. You do know where to begin. You could begin anywhere. The one thing I want to confide in you is there's really no wrong place to start. As long as you start, you're going to do something that's going to make your house look better, feel better by the time you're done. You can also pivot, as Laura just said. She's starting on jewelry, then she's going to go to doing some washing up. But the I don't know where to begin phrase to me sounds like somebody is feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So notice that your words can indicate how you're feeling on the inside. So I would say, Darby, to start with your nervous system. Start with I call it your heart, because I like to have things like rhyme or all begin with the same letter. So I like to talk about, when I'm doing my coaching and here on my TikTok lives, the interplay between your head, your thoughts, your heart, your feelings, and your hands, your doings, your actions. Each one of those. It's so funny when I go like this. Sometimes I feel like I'm either doing tapping or I'm like the Pope. Okay? So, how you can help with your nervous system. Okay? Your nervous system. Just think of the word down. I was checking my mug to see if it said it on there, but no. I've got a thing. I want you to think of slowing down, breathing down, quieting down. That's really, you can slow down your breathing. You can breathe down to the bottom of your lungs. You can slow down your exhale. You can quiet down how you're talking to yourself. You can turn down the volume of that little voice in the back seat that says, I don't know what to do. And then you can quiet down and slow down and repeat these things, and even move your hands down. Maybe you shake your body onto the ground, you release it. Work on your nervous system first. And literally, I say work on your nervous system first. That barely took me 30 seconds to even do, 15 seconds to even say those things. I feel different and better right now. I bet if you spent a whopping minute on that, you would feel better. And when you do that, what you're doing is you're shifting gears in your brain. You are shifting from the frantic city, I don't know what to do, fight, flight, fawn, freeze, brain part of the show. And you're quieting that down so you can shift gears into your more helpful, problem-solving, encouraging brain. So do that. Do that. Start there. And when you've quieted down the I don't know, to say, well, what if I did know? Beth says there's no wrong place to start. And here, I'll even help you even one step further. I had a random 70s song go through my head. I will not sing it now. One Step Shorter, I think it was the DeFranco family. I got to Google it. I remember listening to it. I get a picture in my head of being at a pizza place at the Dedham Plaza. Oh, well. Welcome to my brain. What I want to offer to you, Darby, and to anybody else who says I don't know where to start, calm down your nervous system first, and then start with surface clutter. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. What is surface clutter? Look at the horizontal surfaces in your house. What's a horizontal surface? Anything that's like this, not like this. Okay? It could be the floor. It could be the bed. It could be the bureau. It could be the desk. It could be the kitchen table. It could be a counter. It could be a shelf. Whatever. Even play. Make a game of it. I like to make a game. Put out your hands like this. Okay? And anything that is clutter within that kind of radius. Yeah, radius versus ulna. Or radius versus diameter. Anything in that diameter, I guess, because you've got two radii. You got a number. Whatever your hand falls on, declutter it. Throw it away. Put it away. Whatever. And lather, rinse, repeat. Okay? Hope that helps. Now, Nola Mish says, okay, I'm getting out of bed. I'm going to start in my bedroom. Good morning. Yeah. Sometimes getting out of bed and starting in your bedroom. I love a minimalist bedroom. And I'll tell you why. Because it's the last place you see before you go to bed, and it's the first thing you wake up in the morning. Now, what do I mean by minimalist? Not a lot of stuff. I have outsourced my clothing hamper to the closet in the bathroom. I don't have a lot. I have no tchotchkes on the surfaces. We only have 2 surfaces, a couple of surfaces, and 2 of them have nothing except one has a lamp on it. So I'm not saying become minimalist. What I'm saying is what you look at before you go to bed and when you wake up helps you start your day. Okay? So GLD Murray, I think, says exactly overwhelming. When you think of the word overwhelm, I want you to remember this, okay? Darby and GLD Murray 60. It has the word over in it, so think of it's over your head. So you're looking up, you're kind of feeling overwhelmed. No. I like to work on the opposites. Usually it's kind of side to side. Fear, love, judgment is over here, and curiosity is over here. But this one, the very beginning one, is top down. Notice, over, the opposite word, think of the opposite of over, is down. This is a really easy way for you to remember. When I'm feeling overwhelmed, oh, that's right. I need to do the opposite. I need to look down, quiet down, calm down, sit down, feet on the ground. There's a wicked lot of downs. I call it all the downs. I should probably, because of my Boston accent, call it a wicked lot of downs. And use all those downs to calm down your nervous system. Maybe drink down some water. Can I do that right now? Make yourself feel better. And then when you feel better physically and mentally, you'll be like, I can start somewhere. I got 45 minutes until 8 o'clock. Maybe I only have 10 minutes. You can do something with whatever small chunk of time you have. Okay? There we go. Kat Roby said, peeling myself out of bed to honor my commitment to me and my Beth Blinders. Yeah. Every day is going to be different. This is another thing to remember. Every day is going to be different. So treat it as such. But just notice it. If you have some stuff planned, it's easier to get up out of bed. If I didn't have my 6 a.m. client, my 7 a.m. TikTok Live, and my 8 a.m. client, I might be with you right there. Not with you in bed. That would be kind of awkward. But I would be in my bed, scrolling on my phone, looking at my TikTok. But notice the power of scheduling something. Every day, things are a little bit different. That's one of the reasons I bought this. I should have expensed it as a business expense. But think about your energy. Think about your time and energy. It's flowing through you. Time keeps on slipping. What do I mean by this is every day, it's not I wake up with a full 50%, everything is, what do they call that, balanced. We're more like surfers, or we're like these little guys right here. Some days you have more energy and you're leaping out of bed. Other days you have less energy and you're kind of like, trudging yourself away. Sometimes the sun is out. When the sun is out, I feel like things are easier. When it is a gray or dark day, sometimes it takes me a little bit more. But see this? We are humans filled with fluid. So notice that you can balance. The balance has to do with this. It's never 50. It's never exactly 2 blocks, 50% here and 50% here. Thank you, little guys. All right. So there we go. Lorraine Kavalkovich is saying, I need to see you every day. Well, not every day, but I will share this with you. And maybe you saw, I realized, you guys, I should have made this video long ago. There's a video I just pinned to the top of my TikTok page. It is to let you know that I do these TikTok lives pretty much every day, except when I don't. But the schedule varies because I'm a flexible person and I do a lot of coaching in the morning. So my schedule varies, and I know you've got stuff going on too. So Lorraine, what I would recommend is follow me here on TikTok. If you choose to, you can sign up for my free mailing list. I say that because the people on the mailing list get access to the schedule so they know exactly when I'm going to show up. That is a tool in the toolkit that helped Kat Roby know when to show up and work on her stuff. That helped these things, Okay, so Lorraine, you may have trauma clutter. Notice that. But you also have surface clutter. Maybe the trauma clutter is on the surface. I say the deep stuff, do not start with the deep stuff. That's one of my suggestions. But if you want to start with the deep stuff, I can't stop you. Okay? So notice these things. Yeah, and thank you, Wendy M. Says you can find her on YouTube and watch older videos to revisit lessons. Thank you. Yeah. And yes, here we go. Yeah. Yes, and then saying I don't know what to do is not effective because you do. Your part of your brain says I don't know what to do as kind of I'm not being mean, but like a cop out. It's a habit to say I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. But if you get that out of the way, pretend that's just like one layer. You got that out of the way. It's like a mulligan in golf, mini golf. I like mini golf. Then you say, okay, I got that out of the way. What's my next thing? And I would say, well, what if I did know? What if I did know? Instead of I don't know, that shuts you down. I don't know. Boom, you're done. But what if I did know? Question. I don't know. Beth says, done with Sergio. Yeah. Beth says, hey, Destination Decluttered says, try my surface clutter. Well, I got a kitchen counter. How's that looking? I got a kitchen table. How's that looking? I have a bureau in my bedroom. You have surfaces everywhere. Pick a surface, any surface. I feel like I should have like some playing cards. Pick a surface, any surface. It's going to be the same process no matter what card you pick. Now, I could easily create a card of 50, a pack of 52 cards that each one had a different space. I could charge you money for it. I could get it produced. I'm not going to do that because it would just add to your clutter. Okay? Yeah. Darby is saying, what do I consider clutter? To me, really simple. Really simple. Clutter is the stuff in your home or your head or your schedule that you really don't want there anymore. Let me rephrase that. That part of you knows you don't want it anymore, but another part of you is scared to let go of it. How's that? What do you think of that, little cat, as my mother would say? When I was a little cat, when I was a little baby. Okay? So, yes, Serenity Now. Damn it, Donna. Damn it, Donna. I got to figure out what a Rhode Island accent is because it is slightly different than a Mass accent. Rhode Island accents, I feel like, have a tinge of the New York in it. And Connecticut, you're just kind of hanging out with New England. We love you for your pizza and for your hot buttered lobster rolls, but, you know. And the funny thing is, I'm in Pennsylvania now, and I lived in Delaware, and I used to work in retail and in college radio, so my accent is all over the place. If you hear me when I'm talking fast, because I talk fast because I'm from the Northeast, and I say the word about, if I'm too quick, it'll come out a boot, and then people will say, a number of people have said, "Oh, you're from Canada," and I'm like, "No, I'm from Boston." Oh, Canada. All right, so there we go. And Erin, thank you for reminding people to sign up for the mailing list. So yeah, that's how you get onto, if you want to find out when I tune it, when I show up. The schedule's there, and you sign up for the mailing list. DestinationDecluttered.com is my website. Destination Decluttered, Decluttered, all one word. DestinationDecluttered.com. And then scroll to the bottom of the homepage and just put your email address in the little form. Boom, you're done. You then have access to where the schedule is. You also have access to when we do our monthly Zooms. There's all sorts of good stuff, okay? So there you go. I am here to help you if you want to help yourself. Hey, the Julia Jones, nice to see you. Great morning to you as well. I lift my mug to you. Ooh, my big mug. Vintage Violet Rose says, having a plumbing job done was forced to bin up 2 rooms. Ironically, I don't miss anything. Yeah, isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting? Once you bin stuff up or remove things, the stuff you thought you were going to miss, you don't really miss. It may be that temporary parting is such sweet sorrow, but then, the human brain kind of forgets stuff. Funny thing is we have a plumber coming today, so we're probably going to have to temporarily move some stuff out of a closet. But we're pretty decluttered. I mean, it would be silly if I was a hot mess clutter-wise and I was trying to lead you out of the clutter jungle. Welcome to the jungle. All right. So there we go. Zion Mental Health Healing, a PA girl as well. I'm in the Philly area. I know there are other areas of PA. I drove up to Allentown the other day. All right, so I'm just scrolling back here. Scrolling back. LA64367, thank you so much for thinking of me. Okay? Thank you so much for thinking of me. LA648675309, I'm Gen X. This is what my brain does, and I just love to share it with you. Says, I saw some Hourglass salt and pepper shakers online. Maybe you've seen them too. I may have seen them, and I will share with you my journey for the salt and pepper shakers. So if you've watched my videos, so check this out. Look at, it's got salt in it, and look at, it's here on my desk. I saw some, and they were like $80. I technically do not need a mate for this. This salt shaker over here maybe had a mate at one point. I don't know what happened to it. But when my great aunt passed away in 2001, this is how long ago it was, I remember being the person that was really helping my dad and my aunt and my mother help her clean out that one-bedroom apartment that she lived in. So since then, if not before, I have always been the person in jobs, in my family, that have helped people kind of create order out of chaos and start to do stuff. I would start to do stuff. I just have a picture in my head of being at Aga's her apartment, and those guys sitting around going, I don't know what to do. I'm like, here, why don't we just start here? So I've been kind of doing this for decades. What I decided, though, LA64367, is it is okay that this does not have a mate. First of all, it saves me from buying something that I was using just for show. But I noticed I wanted it for show in the kitchen. But now that it's here at my desk, where I sometimes do eat, my husband will sometimes bring me in food when I'm coaching on big, long days. I like it. I like it right there, and it fits nicely on my little section right next to the little guys with the little, what do you call them? Hold on. I'm trying to work on my brain and not freak myself out when I can't think of a word. The flamingos. See, I got it. And it reminds me of my great aunt and the fact that my family fucking loves salt. Okay? Oops. Just dropped an F-bomb. I have a client that told me she knew I was the right coach for her when I dropped an F-bomb. She's like, oh my gosh, you're the one for me, fatty. All right. There we go. Oh, I love that. Wendy M says, I have been playing your YouTube videos when I need a nap, so I'm motivated when I get up. Just as a quick aside, yeah, all my TikTok lives are recorded. I take the recordings, I upload them to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. There are over 400 and something of them now, and there are even more than that show, because all of the November ones are up there, but only the people on the mailing list get to see them. Yeah. So, all right. Shannon says, you look familiar, we're on TV for a second. I actually was on WHYY, PBS TV in Philly a couple of times. I used to have a website called Retro Roadmap. So if you saw a video of me talking about vintage places to go to in the Philly area, that might have been me. Also, I'm a type. Look at me. Short hair, glasses, not a lot of makeup, sassy. It's a type. I don't mind it. Okay. So, I'm backing up here to help you up. Yep, I got my wicked accent. Yeah, let me see. Zion is saying, I have a hard time giving away my mom's clothes. She passed away 4 years ago. Okay, so, notice this, okay? Notice that there are 3 levels, and maybe you're new here. So, if you are new here, hey, my name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. That's here on TikTok, that's on YouTube. I show up a bit on Facebook and Instagram, but also my website, destinationdecluttered.com. That's where you sign up for my mailing list and find out more about getting one-on-one coaching with me, okay? So, what I want to offer, Zion Mental Health, if you're struggling with getting rid of your mom's clothing, look at where my hand just went, just organically. There are 3 layers of clutter, the way I coach, the way it makes sense to me, and the way it helps my clients. Think of this. You have surface clutter on the top. That's like the clutter of everyday living. Then you've got stored clutter. This is stuff that helps you live, but also it's behind doors and drawers. The third and most deepest layer of clutter is the one that touches your heart. This is your sentimental clutter. This is the one that is the most difficult to go through for many people, myself included. This is the stuff that tells you stories and makes you feel feelings. So just notice that when you're going in, that this is the rough part of the journey. Now, I say journey because if you look behind me over here, I've got this little thing that looks like, it's supposed to look like a pin on a Google map, and then a little dotted line, and then a heart, because that's your destination, and you're in the little car. I use the driving and road trip metaphor all the time. What I want to offer to you is, knowing that this will be the rough part of the journey, prepare accordingly. How do you prepare to go through sentimental items? You realize that you will feel feelings. You also, I will let you know that kind of like up thread when Laura Gibbon Voorhees says, I'm going to make decisions until my decision tank kind of empties and I'm going to pivot to do something in the surface clutter, is decision making is an energy that dissipates during the day. And also, making decisions that involve the human heart will also use more of what's in your tank more rapidly. So you can make a decision on 50 things on the surface, no big deal. You make a decision on 5 things that have to do with your heart, man, your gas gauge is going to go down. So just notice that. Notice that when you go in. And also, please, she passed away 4 years ago. There's no timeline to this. There is no timeline. There is no timeline to the human heart. There really isn't. You can think of something that happened to you when you were 5 years old and smile. You can think of something that happened to you when you were 5 years old and burst into tears, even when you're almost 60 years old. Your nervous system doesn't know what year it is. So just because up here you know that your mom has been gone from this mortal coil for 4 years, your heart still feels her and is feeling feelings. So allow yourself to feel the feelings. The other thing, though, too, is notice that you might not be able to get rid of all of her clothes. And I say get rid of as a catch-all phrase. I don't mean to be harsh. You may not be able to part with all of her clothes, but maybe you can start with, and here's another down for that list of downs we were doing, chunking it down. What are some clothes that are easy for you to get started to then put into a donation bag? Okay? Notice chunking it down. Also, notice my offer of putting it in a donation bag. Donating stuff that you don't want anymore, but donating it makes it feel better because it's going to help somebody else. That story of this will help somebody else can make you feel better so that you're more likely to start. And once you get started, you might be able to release more clothes than you expect. Okay? So notice this stuff. Okay? Now, I am backing up. Yeah, so Sarah, you're not alone. Sentimental clutter is your biggest problem. I lost my mom 3 years ago, my dad this past June. Yeah, do not adhere to a timeline. The only timeline you have is your own. Okay? Yeah. I still have even papers from my dad, his hat and glasses from 99. Yeah, my dad died in 2014. I have a little thing right here that was a keychain I found when we were cleaning out his stuff. I don't know if I have any more dad stuff right here. I know I have some in the other room. It's okay. Nobody says you have to do a damn thing. I show up to show you that you can do things to make yourself feel better. You know, it is okay to have some souvenirs of the time you spent with your lost ones. Okay? And Sarah Leroy, if sentimental clutter is your biggest problem, that's really cool, actually. Because at least in the way I coach, that means that your surface clutter is all set. Is it? Okay, cool. And your stored clutter is all set. Yay. So all you have left is sentimental clutter. And that doesn't really, you can whittle that down a piece at a time. Okay? A piece at a time. If you want to. Okay? So Nicole is asking, what would you suggest for someone who needs to declutter to move in 3 months? Kind of like what I said. Start with the surface clutter. Then go to sentimental. I keep on screwing up. Let's erase. Flip it and reverse it. Surface, stored, sentimental. Okay? So notice that. Surface, stored, sentimental. The other thing, Nicole, is I think you have a wonderful opportunity, frankly, that many people don't have, is that you are moving to a brand new space for you. If you're moving from one place to another. In theory, and I'm doing a lot of guessing here, in theory, that place is going to be empty when you move in. You will have all your stuff. So right now, as you are cleaning up, I also would say this, start sooner rather than later. A time crunch never helps anybody. So start now and ask yourself, do I want to decorate my new home with this item? I like to call it like your Barbie dream house. You're moving into your Barbie dream house. Do I want to buy this accessory to put into it? Or is this the perfect opportunity for me to let go of that? So that when I move into my new place, all I have in it are the following. I have things that look good, truly look good to me, that delight me, that trigger a green light in my heart. Ooh, I love that. Now, every time I say that, because I'm looking at I'm here at my desk all the time, I'm often looking at this lampshade. Again, I'm giving myself grace and pausing so I can get the word. I see this lampshade. I love that lampshade. It reminds me of when we went down to Florida because it's got palm trees on it. So I love that. I would totally bring that to another house. The lamp on the bureau in the other living room, I might bring it, but I'm kind of iffy on it. I could, So use this as an opportunity to, and this is where the destination comes in. What is my destination? What do I want that house that I'm moving into to look like? To function like? Function is going to be easy. You want it easy to find your stuff, easy to use your stuff, easy to put your stuff away. Look, function, and feel. How do I want to feel in that new home? Now, if you are surrounded by clutter right now in your current home, maybe you don't want to feel all those feels that come up with being surrounded by clutter. Overwhelmed, suffocated, weighed down, chaotic. So you can minimize and eliminate those feelings by minimizing and eliminating your clutter. Okay? Hope that helps. I hope that helps. And no, Sharon, I never lived in Connecticut, but I've driven through it a wicked lot to go to Massachusetts. All right? So, there we go. Anna Marie says, my fiance and I are planning to move in together. I need to downsize my accumulation. It may not be easy, but look at your destination. You should be psyched, I hope, to be moving in with your fiance, to start your new lives together. I remember being that way when my husband and I were like that. I was ready to get rid of some things that reminded me of my past life. I was married before. So many of the things that I looked at and went, ugh, that reminds me of my first wedding. I used that moving in with my husband as an excuse to get rid of the stuff. Okay? Now, Anna Marie says, everything I have triggers feelings. Okay, yeah. So notice you are a sensitive person, that you have feelings. Everything triggers feelings. What feelings are they? Are they good feelings or are they bad feelings? Are you a good witch or are you a bad witch? Are they medium feelings? I don't want to say they trigger feelings, but they tell you stories. Really, they tell you stories that make you feel a feeling. You can decide. You have the power to decide what stories you bring forward in your life and which ones you turn the volume down and you minimize and you let fade into the background. Okay? So Dana PPP, this is going to be so funny because so many things. If you tuned in earlier, maybe you didn't because I've been on for 34 minutes. Overwhelm tends to be the thing that gets people stopping. Overwhelm, calming down your nervous system, quieting down, slowing down your breathing. Do not what's the opposite? Unoverwhelm yourself. Okay? Stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Stop stressing yourself up, out. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. Right now, pull your car to the side of the road. Realize that pressure and stress and overwhelm are causing you to drive like a mad woman. Pull over to the side of the road. Sit there. Get yourself in park, turn the keys off, quiet down your nervous system. Calm down the frantics. And when you're feeling better and not so pressured and not so overwhelmed, you're going to do better. And you're going to start and you're going to drive differently. You're not going to speed and be stressed. You're going to drive at a pace that feels good to you and your nervous system. Okay? That will help you show up the next day when you have to do this, because this is not a one and done thing. This is a journey. Don't stop believing in the journey. This is a road trip. You will not get from Pennsylvania to Palm Springs in a day. That doesn't mean you shouldn't start driving there. You will not get to your destination decluttered in a day. Now, the funny thing is so when I do coaching, I have a coaching package of 10 sessions, and I tell people right up front, 10 is just this arbitrary, easy to math number of sessions that I have to start people on that journey. I never promise that you will get to your destination in those 10 sessions. Some people show up for 10 sessions and they learn enough and they go on their way. Awesome. Other clients go for another package, a second package, a third package, a fourth package, a fifth package, a sixth package. I have clients on all parts of their journey. You didn't accumulate the clutter overnight. You will not eliminate it overnight. But the neat thing is just because you may have an accumulation of 30 years worth of stuff, does not mean it's going to take you 30 years. It could take you a year, it could take you 6 months. It depends on how often you show up and how much you decide to keep or release. Okay? Yeah. Now, Wendy M is saying, it helped me to remember someone could use this now instead of collecting dust in my home. Notice that's a story in Wendy's head. That makes her feel better about releasing something because she is a kind-hearted person and she wants to help somebody else and help herself. Okay? Now, I am backing up a little bit here just to make sure I get things. Okay. There we go. Little knickknacks that meant so much. Yeah, here. Anna Marie, sorry. Anna Marie says, little knickknacks that meant so much to my mom I have no use for. The guilt. Guilt? Here, I'm absolving you from your guilt. No guilt. This is a no guilt zone. It is. If you want to guilt yourself into something, you're going to have to go elsewhere. Because we don't do guilt here. I do not do guilt. Guilt is an unhelpful feeling. Guilt is making you feel bad. Why are you going to make yourself feel bad? This may help you. Your mom loved those knickknacks. She loved collecting them. That was her jam. This does not mean you have to love them. Just because you loved the person doesn't mean you have to love the stuff they collected over their lifetime. I will repeat that for emphasis. Just because you love or loved somebody does not mean you have to keep their stuff. Does not mean you have to love the stuff that they loved. If they did, my dad would be stuck with his dad's stuff. I would be stuck with my dad's stuff, and I'd have a room full of duck decoys. I do not like duck decoys. I am not a duck hunter. I am a hunter of fun vintage stuff. I absolve myself of the guilt. It does not mean I didn't love them just because I didn't like their stuff. It doesn't mean I'm throwing away them. They live in my heart. Your mom lives in your heart. And when you look at those things and feel ugh, your mom doesn't want to make you feel ugh. She wants you to live a life you love. She wants you to find something, and it may not be a thing at all. It may be space. Your mom wants you to enjoy your life, much like she enjoyed her life when she was collecting the knickknacks. Okay? So no guilt. No guilt. You know? All right. There we go. Trying to start a bit now. There we go. Okay. I love it. Lori Hannah. Nice to see you. It is early for you, my dear. You are kicking major tuchus lately. I cannot wait to hear from you next week. Lori says, went to Home Goods last night. I only bought what I went in there for. Oh my God. I love that feeling. I am so proud of myself when I don't get distracted by other things. Beth's coaching is the best. So Lori's my one-on-one clients. Yeah. Sometimes in life you will have to go and buy things to help your life be easier. But notice how much it's the stuff you buy for different reasons. You know? Yeah, and Zion Mental Health, yeah, we all need help, especially those of us who help other people. I have resources that help me. This is a resource that help you. Zion is saying, I am a therapist myself. Though I know what to do, I still need to hear this. Because knowing it kind of like on this, in my head is different from doing it with my body. LA64, Okay. There we go. Okay. Anna Marie says, sitting here at work, thinking of all the stuff I can get rid of, but then when I see it, I can't. Okay, notice the stories that are causing you to stop getting rid of. Notice I said earlier, somebody asked me what clutter is. Clutter is the stuff that part of you knows you want to get rid of, but the other part of you wants to get rid of it, wants to let go of it, wants to let go of it. The other part of you is fearful and clinging on. Notice this. Notice that you have a choice. Even if you're clinging on to something, you can release that cling and let it go. Okay? Good morning, Carly Jane. Nice to see you. All sorts of people. All sorts of people. Now, Cat Mom is offering, a friend saved her mom's coat and purse and hung it in her closet to put when she visited. Notice that is a visual reminder. It is a souvenir. We are visual creatures. We look at things and we hear stories and we feel feelings. I look at that purse and I keep wanting to say clock. Purse and coat. Eyes look at purse and coat. Brain says, Mom used to carry those. I love my mom. Therefore, my feeler feels good. That's not clutter. That's something your friend has consciously decided to keep because it gives her a good feeling of her mom being there with her. What a cool idea. I love it. Wendy M. says, my son and daughter-in-law have been helping me declutter. It's been a huge help. Yes, please. Please get help with your decluttering. It just makes it go faster and easier. And here's why. There is I can't even think of the word. There's not a definition. There's a division of labor. That's the phrase I was looking for. Okay? When you have help with decluttering, listen to me. This is the division of labor. You are the decision maker. The only thing you really need to do in the decluttering is the deciding. You are the decision maker. You are deciding to declutter. So you decide, should it go? Should it leave? Should it be released? And if it does, where do you want it to go? Sometimes it's like, I don't care. You decide, just get it out of my house. If you decide to keep it, where does it go in your house? Now that's a different thing because you're going to be surrounded by that stuff. You are the decision maker. Once you decide it, you can tell other people your decisions so they can help you. They won't know if you want to keep this mug or that mug. So they're going to ask you that all the time. If you've made decisions, you just make it easier. You are the head and the heart. You can outsource the hands. You can sit there on your daybed with your bonbons and point to people and say, take that to the Goodwill, put that down the basement, put that in the cupboard, that goes on that shelf. Do you want that? If you don't want it, I don't want it, it can go away. So get help, but help only helps with the hand stuff. Sometimes it might help to have a conversation with somebody about, I don't know, should I keep this or not? But it really depends, honestly. Help with decisions really makes a difference on the person. The person you ask for help. I was on a call yesterday with somebody, Shanana, there's a bunch of messages, I don't know if she's on here, and she was talking about a friend of hers who has offered to help, but that friend is judgy and bossy. You don't want that. You want to move forward at your own pace, and you want to be able to have your own decisions. Not get rid of that. That's junk. That is not helping. That is not helping. Okay? Human Beings Not Doing says, what would you say to someone whose clutter is making their living environment unsafe? Crazy thing, notice, I didn't even read that when I was talking about getting help. I will say, get help, and this is where the help needs to be amped up over my pay grade. I'm honest. Clutter that is such a deal where it is affecting your physical and mental health needs the big guns, needs the people who are trained mental health professionals, because hoarding, which is that's what that is when your stuff is so much that it affects your safety. Hoarding is a diagnosis in the DSM-5. This means that it is something that is best dealt with trained, certified mental health professionals. I am not one of them. I'm cool with that. I have never wanted to be that. I got my certification as a life coach because I know there is an interplay between that. But the people who are unsafe, there are resources available out there. So Google them in your area. Okay? So notice that. Now I'm going to beep up here. There we go. Damn it, Donna. I love it. Damn it, Donna says, I hired someone for 2 hours. Total joy, and she made it so pleasant, and it was so worth it. You know? Love that idea. Grandma 19616, how do you feel about the show Hoarders? I think it's kind of opportunistic. I know that I don't like the thought of exposing people as they're going through trauma for entertainment, or telling people, oh, look at how awful their house is. But that's me. It also, shows people accomplishing things in a half an hour. And to me, honestly, if you don't go through the emotional part of the decluttering to heal, those hoarders may hoard again once the cameras are off, because they may feel unsafe in their nervous system. Okay? This is wicked easy to me, EKBPM. How to address clutter spots that keep reappearing because the system in place doesn't work? Change the system. Oh my God, that was wicked easy. Change the system. And notice a system is a habit. Okay? Notice a system is a habit. You have a habit of clearing out a spot and then recluttering it. We have hot spots in our house all the time. That's okay. Go back and declutter it after you dump your stuff there. Okay? So just notice that. All right? Manny, you're being sassy. You're being sassy. I notice you're being sassy. Top of the microwave. Okay, Lorraine. Notice what's on the top of the microwave. Here's the thing. The system you have, maybe that all that is increasing the frequency with which you go to that place and reduce the clutter. The more you do that, the less clutter you have. Okay? What else do we have here? Yeah, Lorraine says, I'm slowly getting rid of my husband's shoes, but his notes are hard to let go. Of course they are. Of course they are. You are a sentimental feeling person. Nobody says you have to get rid of the stuff that really is true to your heart. Not me. Now, this is really funny. Carla says, I started thinking my mom liked sweet potatoes. I don't. I don't buy or use them. I love her, but not the sweet potatoes. Yeah, my dad used to like creamed pearled onions and steak and kidney pie and all those like old-timey foods, stewed tomatoes. Ugh. It doesn't mean I don't like my dad just because we had different tastes. And notice, we're talking about tastes, but also visual tastes. Yeah. Now look at this. This is a nice kind of riff on this. Scat Kissin says, my sister passed away recently. Her organization of pictures in particular was a gift to our family. So I know there are people out there that struggle to do something for themselves. So notice how you doing something for yourself, decluttering, also can help other people. Sister passed, but she left her stuff in good shape. I am decluttering for myself and for my nieces and nephew, who will be the ones in the family that when I die will be tasked with emptying out this box called my house, removing the removables, and having to do something with them. So I'm trying to minimize the number of items I have in my house while still enjoying every little thing I have in my house. Also, not guilting the next generation into keeping things that they don't want. They're going to have carte blanche. Anything they want in this house, they can have. Anything they don't want, they don't need to keep. With the exception of maybe one plastic tote or two with family heirlooms in it that aren't mine, that were handed down from generations, that I want to hand down to generations. I think one plastic tote of family stuff is not too much to ask for somebody to inherit. There's a story, there's a lineage, there's a connection. And I want them to have that, and also then maybe pass on those stories to feel a connection with those other generations. Okay? So notice this. Yeah. I love it. Wendy is reminding yourself her stuff of the categories: keep, donate, trash, storage. Pick a card, any card. Which one? Yeah. So, I love it. Anna is helping out her mom. My mom's having financial problems, and I'm helping her sell the items she's letting go, and it's awesome. Yeah. Lorraine, you want to put up less Christmas decorations? Put up less Christmas decorations this year. Nobody says you have to decorate for the holidays this year the way you have decorated in years past. I used to do that out of obligation, and it made me not enjoy decorating, and I was resentful of the decorating, and I totally was like Charlie Brown. I'm like, I don't know why I don't feel the Christmas spirit, Charlie Brown, or Linus. I guess I'm doomed, or whatever he says. I paraphrase that part. Put up the decorations that bring you joy. Notice the decorations that bring you joy and play with them. Notice the ones that don't bring you joy, that make you feel sad or whatever, and think of something else you can do with them. Okay? Now, I love this. Scat Kissin is also saying, so I'm going to unblock that. She actually had one tote for each of her 3 children. Sister passed and had one tote for each child. Yeah. There we go. Moms are expert guilters. Mine wants me to keep everything, but wants my house in spotless and clutter-free. Yeah, that's when we can be those little rebellious, like punk rock teenagers. Be like, F you, I won't do what you told me. Mom, you have your house. This is my house. This is my house. Boundaries, Ma. Keep your opinions to yourself about what I do in my house. Shh. Quiet down that voice. All right? Erin, I am psyched to learn that decorating will be different this year. Yeah. Allow yourself to change into the person you want. When I released a lot of my vintage Christmas stuff a couple of years ago, I was so glad to do that because I felt a weight lifted. It was something I liked to do for a while when we used to have these blowout Christmas parties here. We don't do it anymore. Maybe we'll have a few friends over, but not like we used to, and that's okay. I don't decorate for the other people now. I decorate for my husband and me. And so it's fewer things, but better things. You know? Oh, come on, Erin. Like, you've never flipped the bird to your mother behind her back and been like, ugh, ugh. If you haven't, try it. It's kind of fun. That's an unofficial coaching tip, okay? So notice. Yeah, every day, okay. So don't just do that, but then also be like, no, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do because I am a grown-up and this is my house. You are no longer the boss of me. And this is the crazy thing too, Erin, because you think, oh yeah, maybe once she dies I can do what I want. No, because her voice is living in your head rent-free. So just notice that. Okay? Yeah. What else do we have here? Yeah, human beings, not doings, the moms. The moms, every time my mom goes, she says, how can anyone live like this? And I'm tired of the judgment. Then don't have her come over. Don't have her come over. Meet her somewhere else. Go to Starbucks for a coffee. Do not invite her over to your house. This is my house, and this is how I'm living. I don't like it either, and I'm trying to figure it out, but your judgment is not helping. Judgment does not help. It doesn't. So stop being judgy. This is a guilt-free and judgment-free zone. I want to just offer a perspective, and this may be unpopular. Some moms do this because they love you and they fear that your life isn't going to work out well. That's why my parents were like, get the good china and stuff like that. You want to show people that you've made money and that you have a good job and you come from good breeding. Oh my God, we are poor Irish people. A lot of this stuff is just surface stories, but there's fear in being judged by other people that causes them to judge you. And when they're judging you, they are also judging themselves. Okay? You know? All right, Sharon LaCour, you are on a reality show, I Remember a Face Forever. Find out who it is and let me know. I probably have a doppelganger. Short hair and glasses is a type, and I'm cool with that. Okay? But if you find out who I am, let me know what TV show I was on. All right? There we go. Hannah is saying, I'm trying to get back in the habit to put stuff back as soon as I'm done. Yes, back in the habit again. Yeah, when you fall off the habit horse, get back up on the habit horse. You know, whoops, that's right. I should put away that stuff in the dryer. Okay, fluff it, fold it, put it away. You know, the sewing one in NYC, no, I can't sew I am punk rock. I used to sew with staplers and, what do you call them? Safety pins. But thank you. All right, you guys, I've got 3 minutes and then I'm going to be hopping on to coaching and consultations today. So if you had fun today in this last 57 minutes that I was on, I do TikTok lives pretty much every day. If you're on my mailing list, you know when the next one is, so you can schedule to show up and plan and use this time for you. If you don't know, if you're not on my mailing list, you don't know when the next one is. But if you want to, sign up for my mailing list. It's free. DestinationDecluttered.com. I don't spam you. That irritates me. Why would I irritate you? Not good. Okay, user 6242 is saying, I'm upset I missed this Sunday group cleaning. Yeah, that's another thing we do with people on the mailing list. Because I like to have fun and hang out with my people. We did a Destination Decluttered, like a decluttering party. It was wicked fun, and we'll do another one. I will do another one, and this is about as specific as I'm going to get right now, user 62472, blah, blah. I will do another one in December. It will be on a weekend, and I know December weekends are challenging, but people showed up. They made a plan, and you can use the hour to hour and a half that we declutter to work towards your holiday decluttering and organizing goals. Okay. Ellen, nice to see you. Damn it, Donna says, I love starting my morning with Beth and everyone. Creates good motivation. Yay, if that's the case. You know? There we go. T Prada, it's okay. I have a bunch of them recorded. That's another thing, again, not to be all like get on the mailing list, but there's just a lot of good stuff there. All of the TikTok lives I've done so far are uploaded to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. Now, if you're not on the mailing list, you get from September of 2024 back to, I don't know, January of 2023, if not before. If you're on the mailing list, you have direct access to the ones that are from November. Again, this stuff is all free. It's a free email. And I do TikTok. I do one-on-one coaching too. TikTok is telling me I have to sign off. And I know that. Yeah. Thanks, TikTok. Yeah. Okay. The group cleaning sessions are not uploaded. You know what? Because there are a lot of silence. We set a timer. We go declutter. We turn off the timer. We check in. You can do that yourself. Okay? I'm going to sign off. I will see you the next time I do a TikTok live. And if you want to be in the know, sign up for my mailing list. Okay? I'll see you then. You guys rock. Bye.